13 and shlokas. Yeah, we are going through the topic Bhakti throughout Gita. So here, the verse which we have taken today in that topic is 13 and 14 from the 12th chapter. Prabhu, are you going to display the verse, Prabhu? Yeah, thank you, Prabhu. अद्वेष्टा सर्वभूतानां मैत्रः करुणा एव च निर्ममो निरङ्कारः समदुःखसुखक्षमी सन्तुष्टः सततं योगी यथात्मा दृढनिश्चयः मय्यर्पितमनो बुद्धिर्यो मद्भक्ता स मे प्रियः अद्वेष्टा सर्वभूतानां मैत्रः करुण एव च निर्ममो निरहङ्कारः समदुःखसुखक्षमी सन्तुष्टः सततं योगी यथात्मा दृढनिश्चयः मय्यार्पितं मनो बुद्धिर्यो मद्भक्ता स मे प्रियः. Translation. One who is not envious, but is a kind friend to all living beings, who does not think himself a proprietor and is free from false ego, who is equal in both happiness and distress, who is tolerant, always satisfied, self-controlled, and engaged in devotional service with determination, his mind and intelligence fixed on me. Such a devotee of mine is very dear to me. So Krishna is wonderfully saying that. Yeah, here in this verse, Krishna is talking about the symptoms of the person engaged in pure devotional service, symptoms of the devotees, and he's saying who are very dear to me. So here, Adveshta, not envious, the first one, and Sarva Bhutanam, he's kind friend of all the living entities. Sarvabhutana Maitra Karuna Evacha. He is a friend for all the entities. And Nirmamo, he doesn't have the proprietorship. He doesn't take the proprietorship, ownership. Nirahankara, he's free from false ego. Samadukka Shukakshami, he is equipoised, and Shami, he is tolerant. And then Santushtaha, always he is satisfied. Santushta, Trupti. He is like always in that Santushtaha. Satatam yogi, he is self-controlled and always engaged in devotional service to the Supreme Lord. Yathatma, Drida Nischayaha. He has the complete determination in doing the devotional service. Mayar Pita Mano Buddhir. His mind and intelligent is very fixed, like a one-pointed focus, they say, right? Is always fixed on Krishna. Then finally Krishna is saying, Yomat Bhakta, such a devotee, Sa me Priyaha. He is very, very dear to me. Krishna is elaborating the qualities of the person who is very close, very dear to him. So when a person practices devotional service, all these qualities automatically manifest in that devotee, right? Who's practicing the devotional service. But still, we should know what are those divine qualities, right, of a devotee. Then we should hanker for them. How am I going to get those qualities? We should hanker. When will I also get those qualities? That's why we have to know what are the qualities of a pure devotee who Krishna says that person is very yomat bhakta same priyaha, who is very dear to me. Here, first thing, like Krishna said, Advesha. Shami, a person is tolerant. His devotee, Krishna says, he is tolerant. tolerant. Tolerant because the devotee is tolerant because he is not disturbed by anything, whatever is happening around him in the circumstances, right? But nowadays that is not the thing. When we take each and everyone, if he's not in Krishna conscious, anything happens, the person gets disturbed. Like lot of anxieties going around in the day-to-day life, right? So but a devotee here is not disturbed by anything. Why he is not disturbed? Because he knows that Krishna is the controller of everything, and whatever is happening in his life, it is all due to Krishna's plan. So like let me go with his plan only. That is the mood of the devotee. That's why he is not disturbed by anything, and he is in that stage, Shami. He is tolerant. And then here he is also Sarvabhutana Maitra Karuna Evacha. He is a very kind friend to all the entities. So how is this mood, how is this quality getting manifested in a devotee? Because a devotee knows that each and every living entity is a part and parcel of Krishna, right? So when he knows that, when he is very clear with this concept that each and every living entity is a part and parcel of Krishna, then automatically he sees Krishna in every living entity, and he becomes kind and friend to every living entity around him, right? So that is why, like here Krishna says his devotee, his maitra karuna evacha, sarva bhutana maitra karuna evacha. So and Krishna says here, a devotee doesn't have any enemy. Why? How is a devotee is not having enemy? So what the devotee is in this mood. Whatever happens to him, why should he have an enemy? First of all, right? In general, if a person have an enemy, what does an enemy mean? Maybe that person is jealous about somebody, or maybe he does something uh, beyond his expectation or something like that, or any cruelty is going to happen from that other person. That's why a person treats the other person as enemy. This is not a devotee, this is a normal person who's not in Krishna conscious, right? But here Krishna says his devotee does not have any enemy. How is it possible? Because devotee knows whatever happens to him, it is because, like, if somebody is coming and harming him also, he doesn't treat that person as a enemy, because he knows, the devotee knows that whatever happens to him, it is because of the past karma. He comes to that understanding, he's very clear in that understanding. There is no question that anything in the life, even a small thing, smallest of the small thing in the life also, happens just by the chance. Nothing will happen by the chance. Anything, whatever is happening in the life, it is because of the past karma, or it is Krishna's plan for his devotees. Those are the only two things. So when a devotee knows that whatever is happening is in this way, it is because of the past karma, what he has done, or it is because of Krishna's mercy. In that way, then he doesn't treat anybody as his enemy. He doesn't see anyone as his enemy. Therefore, the devotee is always in a good mood. He doesn't have a jealous feeling or enmity or anything towards the other person. He sees everybody is a part and parcel of Krishna, and whatever happens to him, it is the blessing or it is the past deeds. That's it. So always he is in the good mood. Shivan Prabhupada also in his purport quoted Bhagavata shlokam in this for this explanation. This person, so a devotee is thinking anyone, if he comes and disturbs, he thinks that this person is acting as my enemy due to my past own misdeeds. That is the mood of the devotee. So here he's referring a shloka from Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto 14th chapter and 8th verse. It is stated, tatte nukampam su samik Kshamano Bunjanayevatma Kritam Vipakam. Yeah. So whenever a devotee is in distress or has fallen into difficulty, he thinks that it is the Lord's mercy upon him. Tattenu kampam susamikshamano bunjana yevatma kritam vipakam. It is only because of his past karma, so that is why he is suffering. If the person is in that mood, then definitely there is nobody like an enemy or anyone, right? Nobody can disturb him, so he is in a peaceful and very constant good peaceful stage. And nirmama, what is the quality here? Nirmama, he is free from the proprietorship. The person who is in Krishna conscious, he doesn't take the ownership of anything like oh, that is mine, this is yours. No, nothing. I have to manage this. He doesn't take the ownership, because of that, he doesn't even like attached to the pains and suffering of this body, whatever is happening. He knows that we are not this body, we are the spirit soul. So the body doesn't belong to me. He comes to that understanding, we are not this body, so the body doesn't belong to me. Therefore any attachment towards that only will cause pain and suffering, right? So when a devotee doesn't have the attachment towards his body, definitely the pain and suffering will not even bother him. So the devotee is nirmama. That is one of the qualities. And then nir ahankara. So when does an ahankara come? When the proprietorship, I am this, you're this, then he wants to lord it over. Then that ahankara comes, right? So the false ego and like true ego. What is false ego? The person, when he thinks that I am this body, then that is false ego. What is a true ego? I am the servant of Krishna, then that is a true ego. So here the devotee is nir ahankara. One of the quality is nir ahankara. When he knows that I am not this body, he's free from that bodily concept. He doesn't take that ownership. Krishna has given me to take care of this for some time, and now he wants to take it back. So who am I to take the ownership of that? So like he is just, the devotee is just focused on the duty, to take care of the duty what Krishna has assigned him. That is the mood of the devotee. So definitely when he doesn't connect him towards his body, then there is no ahankara, right? So he has that nir ahankara quality. And then when all these things comes, automatically he doesn't have any enemy. He is nirmama. He doesn't have any proprietorship, and he is nirahankara. He is friendly with everyone. And what happens? He is always satisfied, right? Like when all these things like and false ego, when you take the proprietorship, and when you have the enemies, and when you're not friendly with everyone, so when all these things come, then you're not satisfied. You want more of everything, right? More of good and more of bad also. So but here devotee possesses all these qualities, and then he automatically gets this satisfaction. Always he is satisfied with whatever he has, because he thinks that everything whatever he gets, it's because of the mercy of Krishna. And he knows the fact that we will not get even one penny more or 1 penny less. Whatever we deserve, that is what we will get. He knows that, right? Anything is happening, it's because of his past deeds and Krishna's mercy. So when he knows that even 1 penny extra or 1 penny less, it doesn't come when he doesn't deserve. So in that way, even for the grain, whatever he eats, he cannot even get 1 grain more, or even he cannot miss 1 grain also. Whatever it is, whatever is it is meant for him, everything will happen. So he will get the amount of grains what is meant for him, and he will get the amount of wealth what it is meant for him. He will not, but he has that upper limit, right? He will not even get 1 penny more, or he will not even get 1 penny less. Whatever he deserved for, it is the same thing. What he eats also, he will not get 1 grain extra, or neither he will lose 1 grain, what he has to get. So in this is the fact, the devotee knows this very well, and because of this, he doesn't endeavor for so many other things. I want more of this, I want more of wealth. Like he The normal person, they are not satisfied with what Krishna has given them. They want more. Okay, now two-wheeler, after two-wheeler, four-wheeler car. Okay, this car is good. Okay, and an electric car. Okay, one more car, and then they are not satisfied. It keeps on growing and growing. So over endeavor is happening in that case. But in the case of devotee, he is satisfied. He knows that whatever he deserves, Krishna is giving, and whatever he doesn't deserve, Krishna is taking back. So in that mode, he never over endeavors for anything. He is always satisfied. He is always calm. He is quiet, patient. He is having all these qualities, despite of any distressful condition for him, any type of condition, whatever is happens, he thinks, okay, even if he's in a distressful condition, he thinks this is because of my past karma, I'm having it. And actually I must have been suffering more than this what I'm suffering now. It is because of Krishna's mercy. He has just given me the token of suffering. He has reduced the full-fledged suffering, and he has just given me the token of suffering. So I am saved. That is the devotee mood. He's always quiet, he's always tolerant, patient, on top of any type of distressful condition which comes to him, and he is satisfied. He doesn't endeavor. The only thing what he endeavors for is only for Krishna's service. That is what he endeavors for. So, and one another quality Krishna says is very beautiful quality, drida nischaya. He's a person who's completely determined, right? That determination has to be there in each and every one. When the determination is there, automatically things will fall in place. He has that complete determination. I have to do the devotional service, I have to serve Krishna. Whatever disturbance I get, whatever type of disturbance comes in my life, I am not going to stop my endeavor towards devotional service to Krishna. I will not stop to please Krishna. So he has that drida nischaya. Like Mother Ganga flows, right? Whatever hurdles she faces, any mountains or any cliffs, whatever comes in her way, she detours from there and then finds her own way and keep flowing continuously, right? There is no question of stopping her in any way. So a devotee also is like that. He has that drida nischaya. Whatever comes in his way, he is not worried about anything. His devotional service is always continuing. He endeavors for that. He wants to always be fixed in his mind in Krishna consciousness and to serve for the pleasure of the Supreme Lord. And he is self-controlled. He always remains in self-controlled. He follows the instructions of his guru, the spiritual master, and he is with his Dhrida Nischaya, with his determination, he remains self-controlled all the time. There is nothing, no disturbances can affect his progress towards his devotional service. So if we wanted to be dear to Krishna, then we have to imbibe these qualities. What are the qualities? Non-envious, being kind to all, not having the proprietorship, it free from false ego, always being satisfied, self-controlled, determined, and fixed the intelligence and mind in the lotus feet of Krishna and serving Krishna. So when all these qualities are there, then Krishna says he is very, very dear to me. So these qualities, how to imbibe these qualities? It's very easy. The best part what in this is to imbibe the quality is just, it's a very simple process. Practicing devotional service automatically, when devotional service is practiced, automatically these qualities will manifest automatically. So the topmost anga of this devotional service is chanting, right? Like chanting the holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. When we chant these holy names with a determination, sincerely and seriously, every single day, with lots of gratitude in our heart to Krishna, automatically all the qualities which Krishna said, right? He's with great ecstasy, he's telling, my devotees who have these qualities are all very, very dear to me. So all these qualities will definitely manifest when we follow the magic, the devotional service. And on top of that, the anga, the topmost anga of that devotional service is chanting. So today's class is about these qualities. Hope everybody enjoyed it. Thank you. And yeah, any comments? Welcome. Thank you for giving the great opportunity. Thank you, Prabhuji. Vancha kalpatarabhyascha kripa sindhobhya vacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Hare Krishna. Any doubts? Please welcome. Sorry for the disturbance. There is some grass cutting going on here. I'm not able to stop it.
Excuse me, Mataji. Sorry that I was a little late in coming to the program. What is which verse is this, Mataji?
It is 12th chapter, 13 and 14, Prabhu.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mataji. Very good. Thank you very much for this wonderful session, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you.